Well, well, well. What does this tell you? Greetings, folks. It is still Thursday, March 21st, 2019. I've had to respond to this tweet by Mr. Trump. You know, what does it show you? What does it show you? My name is Tom Lineweaver. Did I tell you that? Just so you know, so that when you complain, you know the name. All right. This shows Donald Trump's divided loyalty. It really does. He is probably the biggest pro-Israel president we've had since Lyndon Johnson. And I don't know about that. Seems they all were pretty pro-Israel. This man cannot be all-American. And that's what we need in the White House. We need somebody in the White House that is all-American. We cannot have a foreign policy that favors one country above another. We cannot do that. But this man has that kind of foreign policy. And it's the only country in the world that he has this kind of opinion. Hey, what about Canada? Maybe we should give them control over Alaska. Maybe it's time to set the record straight and recognize the sovereignty of Canada over Alaska. You won't do that, will you? What about Russia? What about saying about Russia that they have sovereignty over the Ukraine? You won't do that, will you? We should not be doing these things. It is not in our place to say these things. It is not in our place to say one country is better than another. See, this is the attitude that will eventually get us into war with Iran. We don't need a war with Iran. In fact, we should get our people out of the Middle East almost completely. But the fact is, a lot of the mess in the Middle East is our fault. And this guy is not making anything better. This guy is going to make things worse in the Middle East. He talks about, strategic importance, regional stability. Okay, folks, if he thinks that the security and importance of the state of Israel is important to regional stability, he's a nut. They are the reason for regional instability. So, go ahead, Mr. Trump. Complain. I'll just take this elsewhere. You are one. Yeah, I'm convinced that, who was it that said it, that you were mentally unstable? Somebody recently said that. I'm beginning to believe that. Of course, really, you don't have to be mentally stable to be president, do we? Anyway, 52 years. Is it 52 years? Oh, it's 52 years since the Golan Heights became independent of Israel. All right. Thank you. Because Israel's been there for 70 years now. 70 years old. Isn't it time for them to retire? Send them Social Security. Why don't you, Mr. Trump? Send them the whole thing. Forget about the American people that paid into it. You give it to Israel. Or maybe you can use it to build that wall. Yeah, take all the Social Security money and build the wall. And tell people, sorry folks, the wall's more important than your retirement. I'm sorry folks. It just boggles the mind how this man gets away with the garbage that he does. It really boggles the mind. Nancy Pelosi, impeach the goddamn bastard, will ya? Oh, jeez. There's more than divided loyalties that's wrong with Donald Trump. Although, that's a biggie. Anyway. This is the kind of man that our founding fathers did not want in the White House. That's why they made it constitutional that you must be a natural-born citizen. They did not want divided loyalties. But unfortunately, we have a man in the White House that has divided loyalties. Now we can survive with a Congress that has divided loyalties, but we should not tolerate a man in the White House with divided loyalties. And I think that's something that the founding fathers considered, and that's why they wanted a natural-born citizen. Which is more than a citizen, by the way. And we can discuss that some other time. I'm not going to go into what a natural-born citizen is. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is a natural-born citizen, so far as we know. Was his mother a citizen of the United States when he was born? That would be interesting if she wasn't. And then Donald Trump would not be a natural-born citizen. But, at any rate, maybe that's why he doesn't talk about his mother all that much. All right. Folks, Donald Trump has to go. Donald Trump is doing something here that no other president did that I'm aware of. I don't know. Yeah. They've been, a lot of them have been pro-Israel. Kennedy was not. That's probably why he was shot. Anyway, this man is a bozo. All he needs is a red nose. Anyway, okay, folks. Nancy Pelosi, please do this nation a favor and impeach this guy. Of course, you won't do that because you're a pro-Israel person too yourself. We've got a Congress full of people that has divided loyalties, and that's why Donald Trump is not going anywhere. The only way he can leave the White House is if we vote him out in November of 2020. And that I encourage you to do. All right. Well, I'm approaching 10 minutes. I'm not going to go much further than that. I think I've said what I needed to say. All right. So, folks, I am going to trust YouTube with this, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Thank you for listening.